Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to be sharing something a little bit different. If you are not into planners, don't click off quite yet. I do have some new products from a new to me company that I want to share with you that I think you could definitely incorporate into Bible journaling or faith journaling. So I'm going to put a timestamp down below for you guys. If you want to just skip past the planner talk and get to the sticker and pretty stuff talk, you can go straight to that with that timestamp down below. And I will have everything that I talk about linked down below as well if you want to just kind of shop and check out what I'm talking about. So I'm going to set this beautiful little stack aside. We'll talk about that in a few minutes here towards the end of the video. But this video was prompted from a post that I had on Instagram. I shared a Reels that was like a series of photos showing my planner bullet journal that I am going to be using this year. And a lot of people asked for a kind of more in-depth look at it and just kind of wanted to follow along and see what I'm doing with a planner this year. Don't worry, this is not going to become a planner channel. I'm not changing my content to focus on planners. That's not really what I want to do. I won't say never, because who knows what God has in store for me, but that isn't my plan. But I know that there are a lot of people that are in the planner community that are interested in that use a planner. And so, I don't know, I just want to share what I'm doing and kind of some of the things I've discovered, what's working for me, not working for me. This will be a little bit longer of a video, but like I said, I'm not going to be doing a ton of these. So this is just going to be kind of a one and done. And then my plan is to do maybe like a Reels at the beginning of the month showing my planner setup for the month, and then maybe some still photos, but I'm not going to be doing like plan with me videos or anything like that. So don't worry. So I'm going to set this one aside. This is actually what prompted this video, is this particular one, but I wanted to share with you kind of where I started and I don't know, just kind of what I've learned along the way. So I have dabbled in planners on and off, but honestly, I have worked from home since about 2013, 2014. And so I haven't really had a need for a planner. I've tried to use planners in the past, but it just wasn't needed because I was at home and I could manage everything on my phone calendar. But now I'm going back to college. I start this week. So I'm going to be dealing with that. I'm taking 5 classes and then running the kids around and doctor's appointments, and just there's a lot going on while also trying to, film videos and produce content on Instagram and still working with the companies that I'm working with. Yes, I am still going to be working with By the Well for God, Open Journey, the Crafty Babe magazine. I'm not stepping down from those teams at this time. I'm just going to be scaling back how I post here on YouTube. So don't panic, but I will still be posting, and I need to manage my time a little better because I'll be out of the house. So I prefer to write things down. That just works for me better than using my phone. And I can look at things kind of at a glance. So what I started with was the college schedule, because I'm going to need to keep track of the classes, the assignments, study groups, various things like that. So when I started searching for a planner, like I said, I'm not super into the planner world. So the only one that I kind of knew about was Erin Condren. And so that's where I started. So I landed on this, I think it's 9x7 Erin Condren academic planner. And so this one's specifically obviously for academics. So whether you're in high school, college, it is set up for that. And so I just went with coil bound, faux leather, again, trying to keep it very simple. I didn't want to go over the top. I know the planner world can kind of get like out of control with designs and images and stickers and all kinds of craziness. And this is supposed to be functional for me. So that is what I was searching for. So I'm not going to do a full review because there are reviews online, but just a quick look at kind of the features of this planner. There's an area for your class schedule, so you can lay that all out, which is great. And then you've got monthly layouts. My plan with this was to keep track of kind of everything. I don't want to have like 5 different planners. I personally think that's a little bit much and not realistic for me. I kind of want everything together. And so I was going to keep track of like bills and appointments and assignments and everything here in the monthly, and then you've got a monthly overview area. So if you want, some key things to keep track of for the month. I don't really do goal tracking or anything like that. So there's definitely some areas that I won't use in this planner, which is one of the issues with a pre-printed planner, which is why I landed on this other planner over here that I'll be sharing with you. But you've got an area to keep track of projects and exams for the month, which is really nice. And then you go into your weekly layouts, which are horizontal with 3 boxes. There aren't a whole lot of videos about this planner online. There's not like a whole lot of like plan with me's or things like that. So from what I could see and how I plan on using this is writing down the class for that day, and then maybe there's an assignment due that day that will go here, or an assignment that's been assigned that day, or whatever section we're in for that day, just anything pertaining to that class that day. And so I could go ahead, like let's say I've got, my art design class, and then there's going to be an assignment due in 2 weeks. I could go forward to 2 weeks and write that assignment's due there. And then I can kind of set up what I need to do on a day-to-day basis to manage the homework and the posting and the assignments and all of that. I can do that in the to-do section. So pretty no fuss, very simple. But I did want to add something to it. So I did like this particular academic planner. There's a few variations. This one I picked because it doesn't have color. It doesn't have images printed on it. It's just very minimal. And then that way I could add color to it. Now, I am not going to be going like crazy in here. And in fact, I'm even going to go less than what I did do in here. But I'm not going to be able to be in my office creating as often and Bible journaling as often, but I still love color and, pretty things. And, I'm going back to school for an art degree. And so I'm going to be like immersed in that world. So I definitely wanted to pull that into my planner just a little bit. So with my bare minimal knowledge about the planner world, I thought, okay, I know that there's lots of stickers out there. Everybody does the whole sticker thing. So let me just go ahead and do the sticker thing. Can I say that this is not for me? I hated this. And so this will be the only time I do it. I'm not going to be doing this going forward. This planner is going to end up just being like a functional, nothing pretty in it, just scribbled notes, writing things down, keeping track of my assignments. And then I'll show the other planner that I did. But another issue with planners I found is just the expense. I mean, I wish I had done this bullet journal planner first, because I wouldn't have gotten this planner most likely, and I wish that I could have sent it back, but I'd already done stuff in it. But, it's $50 for the planner, and then you start buying stickers, it gets a little crazy. And so I decided to do stickers that I could print and cut myself. Since I do have a silhouette cutting machine, might as well utilize it. Of course, that took a lot of time, because if you have a silhouette, the print cut feature is like a spoiled toddler. Sometimes it works beautifully and is great and you love it and you really enjoy it, and then other days you want to hide from it. That is the silhouette. So I found this company. I'll link it down below. It's Design Lovely Studio. She does have really pretty stickers that you can print and cut yourself. I'm not sure if she has physical stickers as well, but these were just the print and cut ones. I just used regular opaque white sticker paper and laid it out. So one of the things I ran into, and why I landed on this other company that I'll be sharing, is that planner stickers just are not my vibe. They are very, for the most part, 90% of them are very like cutesy, smiley face ghosts and bubble lettering. And that's great if you like that. That is not what I like. I'm going to be 37 this year. Not that age matters and determines what you like, but I'm probably on the older side of the planner world. And so I wanted something simple and feminine and sophisticated and pretty, and I just didn't want the cutesy look. So there was very little to choose from when you're limiting it that way. And so I did find this, which is pretty, but it still is not, it's not me. There's still some things that are just very like cutesy, bubbly, not feeling it. So filled all this out and I was like, okay, that's a little bit overwhelming. And then another issue I found with stickers and, watching people do the plan with me and laying everything out is that it reminds me of Bible journaling, and that it can get very focused on the art and the stickers and the appearance and not the functionality of the project. Bible journaling, the functionality is to study and to commit the study, to memory and, taking notes and things like that. And the art should be secondary to that. Same thing with a planner. I want my planner to be functional. I want to, have space to write and keep track and do the things I need to do in it and let the art be secondary to it. And I found that that's not kind of how all of it works. I don't know. Some of the boxes and stuff, obviously to use them, you've got to take up space in the days. I'm like, okay, well now that's limited what I can write on those days. I'm trying to be intentional about, days I know when I don't have classes or dates that I don't have classes. And then, okay, well I can put that sticker there because I don't have to write anything there. Well, that's kind of silly. So, it's pretty fine, whatever. If it works for you, great. But it's not for me. So I will not be doing this, going forward. Nope, this is going to be functional. So I'll link those down below if you are curious about it and curious about the planner, but this isn't going to be my, fun, pretty planner. What I wish I would have done is this from the very get-go. So I'm probably going to use both. I'll use the academic one with all my college stuff. Another issue with this one is the size. This was 9x7, which is definitely smaller than some of the more traditional Erin Condren planners. I don't know, are you guys in the planner world, actually carrying this around in your purse? This is, I have a big purse, it would fit in there, but that is not if I go to the doctor and I'm like, okay, let me pull out my giant, phone book sized planner, let's write down the appointment. That's just not realistic to me. I don't know. Maybe it is for some people, but not for me. So, this will fit in my backpack, but, not very portable. So, I started looking into some alternative options. And so what I found on Instagram and Pinterest, I had been familiar with the bullet journaling community, but I kind of passed on it because I didn't really understand it. I didn't think that it was something that I wanted to do. I didn't really need a whole nother project. But then I started seeing people that were combining planners with bullet journaling. And so there's lots of different ways to bullet journal. It's definitely a more free form type of project. I'm new to it, so I don't know all the terminology. I don't know all the ins and outs and all the options and all that. So don't come for me in the comments. But from what I could find, you can create in an Archer and Olive notebook, which is much more thicker paper. There's dot grid, line grid, journaling lines, blank pages. You kind of just get to set it up whatever works for you, which worked for me much better than having that pre-printed planner. These come in a variety of different sizes. I decided to go with a B6 size, but there's there's various different sizes. I will say that what I'm doing in here and some of the other things I've picked up 1000% inspired by Allie Brown. I'll link her channel down below. I have followed Allie for a really long time. She Bible journals, she regular journals. I love her content and she's fun. I really have enjoyed following her and kind of chit-chatting with her periodically and things like that. And so I kind of ordered things based off of what she shared in one of her videos. I'll link it down below. Even the pen that she suggested, this Uniball Signo 0.38 pen, I even ordered that. So 1000% inspired by her. And so there are tons of different options for a planner or bullet journal. And so I went with this one and I'll talk about it in a second. I do first want to just acknowledge the cover that I have it in because I know there's going to be questions about this because there already were questions on Instagram. My husband made this cover for me. We do want to have a leatherworking business on the side eventually. We've been talking about it for over a year now. We're still kind of in that process of researching and testing things. And it is kind of a tough thing because of cost of materials, the labor intensive, nature of the projects. This cover took about 2 full days for him to do for me because he is hand cutting, hand punching, hand stitching. We even had to design the, template from scratch. I just found a variety of different notebooks that I had seen in a whole bunch of different sizes and kind of mushed everything together and told him what I wanted specifically for mine. And so he created that for me. And so before we do it as a business, we want to do it very, very well because there's already people in this, leatherworking journal cover business that is doing it tremendously well. And so I don't know, we would like to have it, you know, and do that as a project, but I'm not quite sure. We're still working all of that out. But the hide that we had purchased, just to give you an idea of cost of materials, so you can purchase a hide like as like a full cow, half a cow, quarter cow. I believe we did a quarter hide, and it was over $100 for this particular one, and this is a thinner hide, so we probably wouldn't use this thin of a hide if we were producing our own covers. I like the floppiness of it. It definitely has some more stiffness where you've got pockets layered, but from the journals I've ordered from other companies, they're definitely a little more like thick and structured than this particular hide is, and I like things rough and I don't know. I like my leather stuff to be worn because then I'm not afraid to wear it, if that makes sense. If it's all perfect when I get it, then I'm really nervous about that first like scuff, mark, scratch, and I didn't want that. So this particular hide, all these markings were just naturally on that hide. There were definitely some imperfections, and that was kind of the style of this type of hide. And so it already looks worn in. So as I wear it, it doesn't bother me. So no, not for sale, but there are plenty of options out there for you guys if you're wanting to dive in and grab something. Just know, you know, a leather cover definitely is an investment, but it's probably going to be with you for a lifetime if you're working with that same size. So I decided on B6. I have tried a variety of different sizes of notebooks for a variety of different things. You guys know the traveler's notebook size, the standard ones are pretty typical in the Bible journaling community. And honestly, I don't love that size. I really try to love it because that's what is used in the Bible journaling community, but that narrow and tall, I just struggle with it. I need a little more space. I write super big and loopy, and so you know, with that narrower traveler's notebook, it's just I have a hard time fitting things in there. I don't love it. I've tried A5, which I think this particular notebook is an A5 sized notebook. This is Tomo River paper from Good Ink Impressions. I'll link this down below for you guys if you're curious about this. But A5 is a little bit bigger, so this was like a little too big for me, which seems crazy because it's not that much bigger than the B6, but it is bigger, and so it was like too much space for me. This is perfect. It's perfect size to fit in my purse, in my backpack, to carry with me to church, you know, with my Bibles and stuff like that. But then it also gives me enough room to write, and I don't feel cramped and that kind of thing. So the one that I decided on, again, because of Allie, was the Freely Planned planner from Planner Monkey Co. I'll link her down below. She's a company out of Canada. It was, so it's a little confusing when you're on the website because everything is marked in Canadian currency. Confusing for those of us who don't live in Canada, I should specify. Everything's listed in Canadian currency. And so it's not till like you're going through the checkout process that you can kind of see what the, you know, US dollar version is. But it was very easy to order from her. It came very, very, very quickly. I was really impressed with the quality. So hands down, I love this. And it was cheaper than the Erin Condren, and I'm definitely going to be getting more use out of this one, I think. So B6. And what I decided to go with was something that had a little bit of structure, but I really wanted a lot of open-ended pages. That way I could kind of design the planner for what I want. And that's kind of the nice thing about bullet journaling style planners is that you get to kind of create what layouts you want. Now, there are some that have more structure to them. So from this company that I'll be sharing with you guys, Sterling Ink, she has her own planner, the Common Planner that she has designed. I do believe it's sold out. I don't think that you can purchase it for this year, but she has kind of, because she's done this for a while, she created her own planner that worked for her. It's really a beautiful planner, but even that one's a little more structured than what I need. There's the Hobonichi planners, I believe. Again, those kind of have like pre-printed like vertical days, horizontal days, like things like that I didn't want all that. I want it to be very clean. So the way this one is it has a couple of blank pages. I've created all of this. It's a couple of blank grid pages in the front, and then it goes into these monthly layouts that are, again, very basic and blank, so you can fill it in and customize it to what works for you. I like that it's very faintly printed, so it's easy to cover up the lines if I want to. It's not like in your face, bold printing on here, and then it is a line grid in the background. So you get 12 monthly layouts, right, one after another, so all 12 months can be together right at the front. And then the entire rest of her notebook is just these plain grid pages, so you can lay it out how you want. It is Tomo River paper, which is new to me. I had ordered this notebook to kind of play with Tomo River paper. I would really encourage you, if you're into Bible journaling and you're nervous about creating on your Bible pages, or you're wanting to test products, I would grab a notebook like this. This paper reminds me so much of the paper in the like traditional Crossway 2-inch margin journaling Bibles. So not like the big hunky chunky spiral bound Bibles, but the other journaling Bibles. This paper is very similar to that. And you can even see this particular notebook is that cream color, like Bible paper. I do like that this one is white and not cream. But if you're wanting somewhere to test and play, this is a good notebook to do that if you're into Bible journaling. So you could use this as, you know, your bullet journal planner deal if you wanted to, but I like this one. So one thing that I did do was I created a grid guide is what they call them. And I took all my inspiration from Pinterest and Instagram. And I didn't like copy any one person. I just kind of saved a lot of images and then mishmashed everything together to work for me. And so don't feel intimidated, because there are plenty of examples online that you can just, you know, take it and put it in your planner and make it work for you. You're not having to come up with your own layouts and designs if you don't want to. So grid, rather than put it directly in my planner, I did it on this vellum sheet. That way I could take it out and put it in another planner in the future, so I don't have to keep recreating it. But this was to kind of, again, streamline time. I don't want to waste time. And so I went ahead and counted all of the squares on the page, figured out where the center of the page is, quarters, thirds. So then when I'm creating my layouts and spreads and things like that, I'm not having to count tiny little squares every single time. So I can just kind of have that to have an idea of how to create things my way and what I want. So let me just kind of walk you through what I have put in here. And like I said, I'm not going to be doing plan with me videos because I don't plan on changing from month to month. I may adjust the weekly layouts just a little bit, but for the most part, I have found what's working for me, and I'm just going to stick with that. You don't have to do, this does not have to be a complicated project where, you know, there are beautiful bullet journals out there where gals are like doodling beautiful imagery and creating all new themes every month and different layout designs. And that's because they are social media influencers. They are doing just like how I do Bible journaling, and I'm creating new things to inspire you guys and to give you guys ideas. Same thing goes for the planner world. And so no, it may not necessarily be realistic to do, you know, a whole new layout every single, you know, week or every single month. Find what works for you and stick with it. Same goes with Bible journaling. You don't have to have acrylics and watercolors and stamping and gelatos and neocolors. If you find that you really like one particular medium, stick with it. If you have one particular style that you like on your pages, stick with it. You don't have to do, you know, all the different things. So, like I said, I kind of found what worked for me, and that's what I set up. I did create a few of my own stickers ahead of time, just very basic that I wanted to use in here in particular. And so I had purchased a digital file that had some icons. And then again, using my silhouette and some clear sticker paper, just very basic for like my filming and posting stuff, you know, church appointments, weather, which, you know, I thought at first was kind of silly because I have the weather app on my phone. I had seen some people, you know, putting the weather in there, and I'm like, well, that seems kind of redundant. But I want to use this also for memory keeping, which I'll talk a little bit more here in a second about. But, you know, so I can go back and see, like this week, we were having astronomical amounts of rain in California, lots and lots of flooding. And so, you know, we were just talking, okay, how many years ago was it that this happened, you know, before when the river overflowed? And so, you know, this will be documented when, you know, rainy seasons were in there, if you know, if you care about that. Financial stuff, incoming money, outgoing money, things like that. So I did create a few of my own stickers to use in here. And so diving right in, I did create, just a yearly page. I will say this paper is super, super nice. This was done with some metallic watercolors, and then I went back over it with this Amsterdam acrylic ink, and there is shadowing but no bleed through, so very similar to Bible paper in that aspect. And so what I want to do with this is I want it to be functional, but I also want a little bit of creative outlet and kind of combine all the things that I love all in one place very easily. So I don't plan on doing, super elaborate artwork in here, but if I want to create a little bit of doodle, I can. If I want to add a little bit of watercolor, I can. I'm also going to be mixing in some photos and things like that. So I did a yearly overview. This is just an area where I can keep track of where my boys and my school vacations are. So at a glance, I can really quick, like if I'm making an appointment, I can see, when we're out of school kind of thing. So that's what I'm using for that. And then this page here, I just did a set of 12 boxes, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to highlight on here, but I have landed and decided that I'm going to pull one photo from each month to put in here, and then I'll have an at a glance just snapshot of our life over a year. So for those of you guys who have been on my channel for a while, I've played around with scrapbooking. I like the idea of scrapbooking because I really love photography. I did some freelance photography back in my college days. And so that is definitely something that's a part of my life. But the idea of taking a small photo that is me going on a hike and putting it on a 12 by 12 page with a whole bunch of stickers and die cuts just it's just not functional for me. Like, yes, it's pretty, it's fun to create, but it just doesn't work for me. And so I need something a little bit more loose and organic and, not perfect. And so I am going to be utilizing my HP Sprocket printer. I'll link this down below. I do want to mention that these pocket printers, whether you're doing like the HP, I know Canon has one. I think there's one other one out there. These are not fantastic photo quality printers. So just know that going into it. It definitely gets the job done for what I'm using it for. But if you're going to be comparing this to like a full size regular photo printer, it's not going to compare. So I get a lot of questions about how much I like this. Yes, I would 100% repurchase this. And I love that it actually survived standing water in my luggage when I came home from Taryn's retreat this fall. It was like sitting in water and it survived. It's still working. So it is great for that. So it prints 2x3, like 2-inch by 3-inch photos that are on sticker paper. So you just pull the backer off and it's a sticker. So it's very convenient for on the go. You can just use your phone, Bluetooth, print from your phone. So I like that it's very easy. I don't have to go sit at my computer and that kind of thing. But again, the photo quality isn't fantastic. The first one that I had, I did send back and then I got a new one, and the problem wasn't the same. It was like a different type of problem, but it just still wasn't good. Like, I don't want to say not good. It just wasn't fantastic quality. The colors are a little bit skewed. So you just kind of have to think about that when you're editing the photos. But I can just print a photo, whether it be like a Sunday selfie from the month, or maybe we had an event during the month or a special moment. And then I'll just have an at a glance look at a few small photos in here. So I want to incorporate those photos in a very easy, less formal way in here. And then you go into your monthly layout. So I've kind of covered mine because I'm already working in it. It has, personal stuff in there. But all of these stickers that you're seeing are from this company, Sterling Ink. So that is what I'll be using in this planner. And this is hands down, like, I'm obsessed. I wish that I could find a Bible journaling company or kit or something that is this style, because this style is me. It is very classy and clean and feminine and florals and delicate. I don't love bright, vibrant colors. I don't love primary colors. I don't love, bubble lettering. I don't love the cutesy stuff. I like it to be this. This is 100% me. That earthier and the florals. I love that it's like scripty font. I'm obsessed. And I wish that there was something like this in the Bible journaling world. And I'll show you with those stickers, there are definitely some things that you can use in your Bible journaling. Another thing I really love about these is they have a washi material. So you have the option of getting them on like opaque white sticker paper or the clear matte washi material. If you guys know of where to source sheets of washi sticker like this that you can print on, please let me know in the comments. I have never seen anything like this. So this is like washi tape that has, you know, the stickers have been printed on. I went ahead and pulled the I pulled the backer like excess away from this one so that you could see the stickers easier, but they are washi, and so they just blend right in with the paper. They look like they're part of the paper. It's just beautiful. And so Sterling, again, like I said, she has her own planner, and so her stickers are designed to fit the dimensions of her planner. So like, for example, the word January would perfectly line up in the boxes of her planner. This planner is different, but it does still work. And because everything is very like lightly printed on here, I don't notice any issues. These are the number stickers for the month. They blend, you know, right in there, and they look like they're printed on the page. So that is what I'll be using in here. I'm just using it as a little bit of an accent to add a little bit of color, a little bit of interest, but not overwhelming. So monthly layout. So you get 12 of those, like I said, and then going into, I've set up a couple of layouts, again, looking at a yearly aspect. I've got a reading tracker and then a place to write down TV shows and movies that we're doing or watching. Obviously, we read more than watch TV, but you know, again, you could do this very simple where you're just listing things, or you can be creative. So lots of examples of this type of idea of doing like a bookshelf to keep track of your books that you're reading. I have a problem with reading. I get addicted. I'll stay up to like 2 a.m. reading. So I have to be very careful. And so I go through like periods of time where I read a ton, and then other times where I don't read anything at all. Heavier towards the beginning of the year. So obviously I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books already, and we're halfway through January. So as you know, January, February kind of wanes, then I don't read quite as much. But I've got room. I can add some more, you know, draw some more in there. And so this gave me the ability to kind of like play around with sketching and laying things out. And then I incorporated some of those stickers. These are from the January collection from Sterling Ink. Incorporated those in there as well. So just to kind of accent, but not take center stage. This also gives me a place to kind of play around with hand lettering and, you know, things like that. So there's that. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do anything like cutesy and artistic as I do this. We'll just kind of see when I come to it. And I know this seems like a lot of work, but once it's set up, then it's set up. So I've already set up the yearly stuff. It's done for the year. Monthly stuff will be set up at the beginning of the month, or like I'm going to do it this weekend for February, and then it's done for the month. And then Sunday nights, I'll sit down and fill in the week, but it will already be designed, stickers on the page. I just have to write things in. So it really doesn't take that much time if you do things kind of ahead of time. So then going into the monthly section, again, remember, these are all just blank pages. So I've just kind of sectioned it to how I want it to be sectioned. So you get to decide what you want in there. I used one of the vellum dashboards from Sterling and Ink and put that in there. It is so, so beautiful. So what happened was I was a little late to the game to finding this company. And so she does monthly subscription kits, and I missed the January subscription. So I just went in and like ordered all the January stuff, which I'll talk about in a second here, but definitely would encourage you to do the subscription if you are interested in this, because that's the most cost-effective way to do this. It was way more expensive to just piecemeal and order all the pieces individually rather than do the subscription. So put in the vellum piece, just giving me, you know, some color, separating the yearly stuff from the monthly stuff. And then this page will probably be different every month, whether I want to draw something or paint something or, you know, I don't know what. I found this image online, printed it using the printer. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there's like a little bit of a pink tinge to this. That is kind of the issue that I have with this printer, is it kind of leans a little pink. So you have to edit things to cancel that out. But it just happened that the color matched with the kit this month. And then added in some more stickers and left it, you know, kind of plain over there. So now we're zooming in and looking at the month. I did a month at a glance, and so just created like a little calendar just so I could see all the high points for the month, so I can see where I've got, you know, days of heavier things going on, days with nothing going on, and that way I'm not missing appointments or things like that. One thing I am trying to do different is I'm doing a Monday start for the week instead of a Sunday start, which is totally weird to me, but I know that's kind of common in the planner world, and it makes sense since the weekend is at the end of the week. Put it all together, just it makes sense to do it that way. I even switched it in my phone now, so I'm trying to retrain my mind. But I did have to get white out because it's causing issues as I forget that sometimes. But that's why the dates and things might look a little funny to you, is it's a Monday start. And then for this section down here, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to put here. I ended up printing my mood board that I created and was going to include that. So I shared this mood board in my stories on Instagram at the beginning of January. And for no other reason than just playing with design. Again, I'm going back to school for graphic design. I'm taking a ton of art classes. So, layout and texture and color and all of that is just going to be a part of my life, and I want to exercise those muscles. So utilizing that in every little corner of my life. So I'm constantly exposed to typography, constantly exposed to different color palettes and layouts and things like that. And so just playing around with that so that it becomes second nature, like I've done with everything else, with Bible journaling and color, and how I position things and cluster things, or photography, how I position things in the frame, and all of that just comes from repetition and exercise and being a part of your life. And so same thing's going to go for graphic design. So this was for no other reason. Like, I'm not going to be adhering to just using this as, all my artistic outlet for the month is going to be just these colors, just this style. But it was something kind of fun to do. So printed that, put that there so that I can kind of have that. And then habit tracking. I have never done habit tracking before. I know a lot of people do track steps, water intake, things like that. That just never really appealed to me because those were things that I didn't need to track. But I do want to track some things like Bible reading. So I want to read through the Bible again this year. And I'm doing this so that I can hold myself accountable each month and kind of see the areas that I need to adjust. Obviously, I'm not on track this month. And so that's a real vulnerable moment for you guys. Even though I'm, have this channel, Bible journal frequently, do all those things. We're just kind of in a crazy season right now, and I'm not getting the time in that I should be reading every day. And so now I can look at this and go, okay, that's an area that I need to adjust in my life. When I have this much reading of pleasure reading and not in my Bible, that's an issue that I need to adjust and change. And so I can see that by doing a tracker like this. So no spending, migraines. So when I go to the doctor, I've got those documented. So, you can kind of customize that to whatever you want. And then again, I just added some of those stickers to be an embellishment, not to take up space. So usually I kind of lay out exactly how I want the functional stuff first, and then I added in the stickers as embellishment around it, so that worked better for me. And then I just have these little page darts in here to separate things out for me, book darts, so I can just easily flip to weeks, months, years, the different sections, super easy. So that's what that is there. So then after habits, it goes into the weekly layouts. And I went ahead and just covered up a couple of the weeks I've already been working in because, again, it has personal stuff in there. But again, you get to design this however works for you. I know some people prefer vertical things. People prefer horizontal things. I found this similar layout online, and I liked that it was, chunks. So there's some form, but then I can put whatever I want in here. So really I've just been listing, okay, I need to post this. I need to film this. This is an appointment going on. And then towards the bottom, I've been writing like meal planning stuff. So what our meals are for the week. Again, there's like a whole key guide that you can use where like square, circle, triangle means something different, whether it's an event, an appointment, whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm just listing things. The pretty part's already been done. Then this is going to get messy once I start utilizing it. And so I want to maybe share this more so that you can see that. So, you see all these beautiful, perfect planners online, and that's not realistic for everybody. Sometimes they're going to be messy and not pretty, and that's because they're being used and they're functional, and that's okay. So yes, it looks all, pretty imperfect right now, but it's not going to stay that way. So I did the days now changing going into February. I'll probably do, because like right now it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll probably do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because as I've been filling it in, I find that that's my natural tendency is to want to fill it in that way. So I'll change that. But so I have, the whole week, and then I had an extra place box here. What I'm going to put here is our monthly memory verse that my church does. We have a verse or a set of verses that the entire church memorizes every month. It used to be every week. Now we're doing a month. So I can write this here every week. And so I'm in here every day and I'll be seeing that every day. And that is a way to, get it in front of me. But you could put a quote there. You could put, key things, whatever you want. But I'll be putting scripture there. So again, you can see I left myself plenty of room to fill out. Nothing is like obstructing my ability to fill things out. These stickers are so nicely sized that they're just like an embellishment. They're not, taking over things. So these January stickers, those are stickers. The days of the weeks are stickers. There's like little washi strips. So that's all from Sterling Ink January collection. And you can see there's even like some foil detail on them. They're just super pretty. So I went ahead and laid out every week ahead of time for January. So I'm not sitting down on Sunday and creating my week. It's already created. I just have to fill it in. So there are the weeklies. And then I went into some journaling space. So I gave myself 2 spreads for journaling. I have never really done like diary keeping or journaling in that way, but I want to write more. I write articles for the Crafty Babe magazine. I do like a devotional article for them. And so again, another muscle that I want to flex. I don't want to get into a rut where I'm using, the same sentence structure all the time or the same tone or whatever that is. And so I want to exercise that and write more and just let that be, a part of what I do. And it also gives me kind of an escape. Again, a little bit of memory keeping. So not just photos, but documenting moments that maybe I would do a little bit of journaling on a scrapbook page, but now I can just be a little less formal about it. So even just silly things like, a phone conversation with the doctor and things like that. Or, my kids and I, we did a puzzle over Christmas break. So taking a picture of that, putting that in there, kind of writing about Christmas break. We had an afternoon, we went and kind of did some things, wrote about that. So it, you do you. I know some people, it's really cathartic to journal about their feelings and things going on. That doesn't work. That's not for me. I don't do that. But journaling just life stuff that's happening, and then allowing that to be kind of memory keeping a little bit. So I did allow some larger pieces in here. These were kind of just like the end of the pack of stickers, what I had left over, kind of filled things in, but left, again, myself plenty of room. So then what I did was I figured out how many pages I used for the month of January. And then knowing going forward that I'm going to be pretty consistent with this is going to be my setup. This is how I'm going to use this planner. This is, I'm not really going to stray from this. I pre-counted out those pages and divided them up so that I can fit January through December all in this one planner, and then just use some paper clips to section those out. So this is where my February dashboard will go, and then it will go into all of those layouts. So obviously I haven't drawn them in yet, but it just takes, one afternoon, draw them out, and then I'm done for the month, and then I can use it. So that is how I'm using this. This is how I'm bullet journaling. I know there's people that, have bullet journals specifically for books and podcasts and health and faith and, all those things. That's great. If that works for you to have a bunch of different booklets that way, great. But I wanted everything in one place. And again, it is very nicely sized, so it fits in my purse. It's easy to carry. I did grab some of these sticky notes. These are clear sticky notes from Diversity. So you can see these here. So I can use these in my textbooks, but I also grabbed these so that, let's say I do go to the doctor and I'm scheduling an appointment, and I don't want to like messily write it in here quite yet. Maybe I don't have the pen that I'm using or the highlighter or whatever. I can write those things on the sticky note, and then when I get home, I can put them in here. So I do want it to be nice and able to read. I don't want it too crazy. But, so I stuck those in there for that. So there is a look at the Planner Monkey Co. Freely planned planner. This is the B6 size. Another thing that I did grab to use in here were some highlighters. I know many of you are going to be familiar with these from the Bible journaling community. These are the highlighters from Diversity, and I love these because they're a more kind of muted, earthy tones. Again, like I said, I don't love bright. I don't love, true reds, greens, blues. I want it a little more muted, and these were perfect for that. So they're really great. I know a lot of people use them in their Bible pencils. They work fine in here. The colors kind of go along so far with the products that I'm using from Sterling Ink. My only complaint is the shape. And I know some people might like the shape because they don't roll around because they're that rectangle rather than round, but they're kind of uncomfortable sitting in my hand. They are chisel nib. I don't know that I've ever mentioned this on here, but I broke my finger when I was about 10 or 11 years old, broke it at the growth plate. And so I've got some I don't know, weirdness with my finger. So I have to be careful about the writing utensils that I use because it can be kind of extra uncomfortable. But I think even if I didn't have that, I don't love the shape of it. But other than that, they're really nice highlighters. So I've got those in there, everything tucks in, ready to go. So that is what I'm doing with my bullet journaling, planning. That's kind of what I'm doing. This is what you saw. So at the beginning of the month, I'll probably do reels like I did this month where I just show, all the stickers in place, the weeks laid out, before I fill in all the appointments and things. That way you can kind of see it if you're interested in that. So moving right along to the pretty fun part. So this is what I'll be using in that planner. I know I said I don't love the whole world of stickers and all that, but once I found this is perfect because it adds that little bit of feminine, the pretty, the color, nature, without being over the top and obnoxious. So what I did is I did go ahead and sign up for her large subscription from Sterling Ink. It is a really great price. It is $35 a month. In the US, that includes shipping. So it's $35. I have done some other subscription services in the past from various different companies, and it's by the time you tack on the taxes and the shipping and everything, you're looking at another $15 on top of the monthly cost, and it gets a little crazy. I'm not doing any other subscriptions right now. This is the only one. And again, like I said, I ordered individual pieces from January's collection, and it was way more expensive than just doing the subscription. So this is a large one. She does have a smaller sampler subscription that is $20. That does not include shipping, but you get just less. I think you get 6 sheets of stickers. So another great option if you're just wanting a few elements. Or if you're not wanting to do planning, let's say you're just going to be using this for Bible journaling, you can individually order the stickers from the monthly collection. And then she does have some additional stickers that she releases that aren't in the full subscription. So there's some extras in there that you can take a look at. But she's got the option of matte, white, opaque stickers or this clear washi material. So that's what I went with. And you guys, they're phenomenal. So let me kind of walk you through. This is the February collection. So you get a sheet of the calendar numbers. So I'll use this in that monthly layout. And then I can also use this in that month at a glance rather than having to write 1 through 31. I can use the stickers. These are super teeny tiny, so I would recommend using tweezers for these ones. But one thing I really love about the washi material is it's easy to write over and highlight over. If you are familiar with the clear sticker, like the Avery labels that most of us use for Bible journaling, we print on this and create our stickers. This is great. It blends right into the paper, but this sticker paper is really tricky to create over the top of because it almost resists things. So certain pens won't write on here. Highlighters sometimes will just take away the ink as you highlight over it. They can just be a little bit tricky if you're going to be creating over the top of them. And the washi material is not like that. I've been able to write over it, highlight over it. And it's just, it's amazing. So you get that. I'm just going to go through this kind of quickly because there are lots of unboxings online for this release, but you get several sheets that have gold or have foil detail. Each month will be different. Sometimes it's silver, sometimes it's gold, rose gold. So she's got different foil. This month's theme is embroidery. So you can see it's purples. I love the purples, love the earthy, love the florals, very girly, very feminine. You've got little embroidery pieces on there. So this is for larger elements. So another thing that I saw in journaling, bullet journaling, was there's a lot of gals out there that do these beautiful layouts, usually in the Archer and Olive notebooks that have that thicker paper, where they're 10 tearing vintage papers and layering them up, or cutting out doors and windows and doing all these interactive elements and, you know, kind of that mixed media style in their bullet journaling. And it's pretty, but that takes a lot of work and that creates a lot of dimension. And so I like that these kind of have some layered pieces that are just, you know, they're printed. They're not, you know, I'm not having to stamp. I'm not having to tear papers and layer things. It's just very, very simple. So the sheet has some various elements in there with, again, that foil detail. So you get several sheets with foil. And you can see there's a mixture of like clusters and larger elements. There's those florals. She does draw out all of her own art. So I always like to highlight that when a company does that. Not that there's anything wrong with not doing it, but I just think it's an extra special little detail. Most companies will purchase graphics from other designers, people who just design graphics, and then they buy the licensing material for it, and then they use it to create their stickers or their stamps or whatever it might be. And then some actually draw out, paint out, digitally create their graphics, and then create product. And so I like to highlight that because that's like extra work. You're not just designing the product, designing the planner, designing all that. You're also drawing or painting or designing the graphics, which I think is really a special talent. So she does create all of her own artwork. So you won't see this anywhere out there. It's, you know, specific to her designs, her company, her products. So got some smaller. So I like these with the little petals and things, because then you can kind of, you know, create little, you know, falling elements, keep it to the margin, keep it really small, again, so it's not encroaching on the areas where you would be writing and utilizing your planner. You have a large washi strip. So this is the one that I used in that monthly January area. So you've got that, and then some larger clusters. And they're even kind of like, it's like an edge, so you can put it on the edge. Really, really pretty. So you get 2 sheets of this particular one there. And then this one, like I said, I pulled off the backer so you could kind of see what that looks like. This has this larger window element, and then some other clusters on there. Then you get a set of days of the week. So you get 5 sets of days of the week. So there's enough to do the weeks through the month. And then I also used a set on my monthly layout. And I like how they're all a little bit different. So some are underlined, some have little graphics. So you just kind of naturally get that variance when you're using the stickers. Again, that really pretty, you know, scripty font, just very, very feminine and pretty. A set of dates. So you can fill those in. Here is the dashboard for February. Let me put that there. So it is vellum, size to B6. It did hang over my page just a smidge, so I had to just trim off like 1/8 of an inch, maybe like 1/16 of an inch that it hung over. I just used some double-sided adhesive to tuck it in there, but the quality of her printing on vellum is just beautiful. It is so, so nice. So there is that. Then you have like a little envelope here that's got some smaller elements in there. You do get this vinyl die cut sticker. It is a clear sticker, if you can see that. So she does have white printed underneath the image. So this is going to be really nice because if you put this over something, it's not going to like destroy what the image looks like if what's underneath it is coming through, if that makes sense. But then there are some clear areas. So you could put this on your laptop, a notebook, you know, mug, something like that. I like that you've got something to kind of take outside of your planner. And she does have some additional ones on her website as well. This is the freebie for this month. So if you do order from her shop, even if you're not ordering the February kit, she puts like a little freebie sampler in there. So there's like a little washi strip and then a couple of the elements in there. So you can kind of get, you know, a feel for those stickers. You get 2 of the month stickers. This was something I didn't order for January. You get 4 tabs. So these are the white premium matte stickers. So these you could use, instead of using those book darts like I'm using, you could use these to separate out the sections, but then it would stick out of the planner, whether at the top or the side. I didn't think that I wanted anything sticking out the side, so I don't think that I'll use those, but they are there if you wanted to, you know, have those in there. And they are really, really tiny, so they're not going to stick out super, super far. They're not going to take up, you know, I hate when a tab encroaches on the page a whole bunch and then you lose that on the page. These are really, really small and delicate, so you're not, you know, going to lose a whole lot of space. And then this is a monthly sticker. I'm going to use this instead of drawing out that month at a glance. Let me find it. This one here. So I didn't order that one for January. So rather than draw out my own little calendar, I can stick that right there. And again, I'm able to highlight on there because it's that washi material. And then you just have her business card, giving you all the information where to find her. I just kind of tucked this in the front. I actually used this to smooth down the stickers so they were, you know, smoothed down on the page. So that's in the little envelope. And then you get 2 large vellum pieces. It is the same floral print on both, but then this one has like textile stuff printed on there. So these you could cut down and use as dividers, dashboards. You could use these in your Bible journaling. A lot of people I have seen, they get the clear vinyl covers for their planners, and then they stick this in that clear cover with like a piece of white paper behind it. And so it would change the cover of your planner on the inside every month if you wanted to do that. I'm not sure if I'll do that. We'll have to see. I'm not quite sure how I'll use these yet. I didn't order the January ones. These were just included in the February subscription. So there's a look at sterling ink. And so like I said, some of these you can use in Bible journaling, some of these, you know, cluster elements and the washi elements, all of it, you know, outside of the date stuff, there's quite a bit that you could use in your Bible journaling very easily. And how pretty would it be to have an entire Bible done in this like delicate, earthy, floral. I just think that that would be really, really pretty. And again, I wish that we had something like that, because this is more my style than the like cutesy bright style that seems to be pretty, you know, common out there just in the crafting world in general. But so there's a look at what I'm doing for planners. If you're curious about that, I know it's not for everybody. Don't worry, we're not turning into a planner channel. But if you have questions or comments, leave those down below. Be nice. I'm new to the whole planner thing, so I'm sure I've said something incorrectly or missed something, or, you know, that, like I said, this is not my area of expertise. I'm just sharing what I'm doing and what works for me. And you can take a look at that. All those links will be down below for you if you want to check those out. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you're intrigued, if you learned something new. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. There probably won't be a whole lot of processes and things as I'm heading back to college, but I'm going to try to get on here as much as I can, share as much as I can. When I can. So subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.